Nathan Gill said nothing as he arrived to face the music at the Old Bailey. But during his time in Europe as an MEP, he had plenty to say, often supporting the Russian narrative around Ukraine, because he was getting paid to say it.
The Ukrainian government is in the process of banning the two biggest TV channels in the country.
Are you with us?
A Mormon bishop turned politician, Gill was a key member of Nigel Farage's UKIP and Brexit parties. But an investigation by counter-terrorism police found Gill was also busy taking bribes from this man, Oleg Voloshin, a pro-Russian politician in Ukraine. Voloshin's boss was the so-called Dark Prince, Viktor Medvedchuk, then President Putin's right-hand man in Ukraine.
Prosecution services have opened up this investigation against...
They tasked Gill with making pro-Russian TV appearances and speeches in the European Parliament. When police stopped Gill as he was about to board a flight to Russia and seized his phone, they found WhatsApp messages like this one, talking about gifts and postcards, code for cash. Voloshin tells Gill he's received all promised Christmas gifts and requested 5 more postcards for his kind help next week during the debate. He says he'll supply him with lines to take, and Gill replies, excellent.
Proper democratic procedures are being ignored 4 months before an election.
Gill duly delivered Voloshin's script criticising Ukraine verbatim in the European Parliament. Police found bundles of cash at his North Wales home.
He says, I've received all promised Xmas gifts. Do you know what the Xmas gifts were, or the Christmas gifts are?
No comment.
Gill also took bribes to enlist other British MEPs, although the court heard there's no evidence they knew he was being paid. The judge said the 10.5-year sentence marked society's condemnation.
Whether or not you believed any of what you said at the behest of Voloshin and Medvedchuk, allowing money to corrupt your moral compass constitutes a grave betrayal of the trust vested in you by the electorate. Your misconduct has ramifications far beyond personal honour, which is now irretrievably damaged. It erodes public confidence in democracy.
The judge told Gill he hadn't just abused the trust of voters, he had fundamentally compromised the integrity of the European Parliament in its dealings with a hostile state, Russia, and at a time when Ukraine was in turmoil. This week, MPs were being warned of the risk from Chinese spies, but the head of the Metropolitan Police's counter-terrorism command says Russian interference is a particular challenge.
Nothing is off the table in terms of how they would wish to affect society here or our parliamentary democracy.
Are we going to see more of these attempts?
Well, it's impossible to say, but we remain alive to that. So we're seeing a whole host of activity on behalf of Russia, in this case pro-Russian elements of the Ukrainian opposition, but we see a lot of activity. We're working very, very closely with our intelligence and international partners, and we're better placed than we've ever been to confront the threat from Russia.
Gill's crimes were in the era before Reform UK was born. Nigel Farage has said he had no knowledge of what he's called Gill's shameful activities, and the police say he is not linked to the case. But he is facing calls tonight, including from the Prime Minister, to investigate how it happened in his party and whether there are any other links between Reform and Russia.